Hey, what's up? Thanks for checking out this clip from our latest podcast, which, by the way, is available wherever you download your podcast from. Brent and I went over the entire first round of the playoffs, and yeah, it was a blast, man. So check out this clip, rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. Enjoy.
Okay, let's roll over to the Lakers versus Suns. And this is where it's interesting because we have the Suns that technically at the beginning of the season, if we thought this was going to be the first round game, we would think that the seedings would be actually swapped.
Absolutely.
We were just thinking that the Suns were barely going to make it to the playoffs, if that, and now they're up there at the number 2 seed. And now we have the Lakers Suns series.
Mm-hmm.
But is it in reality swapped? Even though the Suns are our number 2 seed right now, did they overplay their hand there in the West?
I mean, first of all, Phoenix, CP3, he was my third for MVP, and not just a career. I think, anytime you bring one dude in and you go from not making the playoffs to being the number 2 seed.
Yeah.
And if you watch him play, he has complete control over the game. It's amazing to see, him play at this level at his, usually guards, aren't doing this late in their career.
Mm-hmm.
So the Suns earned the number 2 seed. The Lakers are the team that everybody's like, okay, they're going to get it going. They're going to get it going. Okay, everybody's healthy. Then James goes down. AD comes back. Okay, AD, let's be honest. AD has not looked good this year. He has not looked good. He was out a long time, but even in the beginning when they were winning, he didn't look good then either. So he's definitely been like, okay, he's definitely going to try to flip the switch, right? And since they're the defending champs, I guess you give them that. I think I'm going to have to take the Lakers, but I think it's a 6-game series. I think actually Phoenix is going to take the first game, but LeBron and company, LeBron's really good at losing the first game. And then, I know I'm acting like he's the coach, but if you look back at his playoff history, they'll lose game 1, come back, make adjustments, and then go from there.
Right.
I think it's just an unfortunate matchup for Phoenix. They don't have enough bodies to stop AD if he gets going.
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference. But yeah, I think it'll be fun. I think Phoenix definitely gets 2 games off of them. But I think you're talking about LeBron and AD and, Brooks. This is his first time in the playoffs. CP3 is going to be running the show.
Yeah.
So it's just an unfortunate matchup. I would have taken Phoenix against a lot of the other teams in the playoffs in the West, but the Lakers just are too big, man.
They got the I'm sure they were really hoping for the Warriors to beat the Lakers in that play-in for the Lakers to end up dropping to the 8th seed, but it didn't happen. So it's a unlucky draw because that is one of the stigmas that CP3 has on him, is that when he does make the playoffs, he can't get out of the first round. And it ain't his fault that they played to get to the 2nd seed, which no one expected. And then they fool around and get the returning champions in the first round. You just don't expect that to ever happen. They think they're going to play like, Memphis or, or somebody down there, but it just didn't happen that way. So,
this is an injury. Sorry to cut you off. It's an injury seeding, right? The Lakers would not have been the 7th seed if LeBron hadn't hurt his ankle.
Right. Well, and the problem is that the Lakers actually are fairly deep. They just really don't know how to play without LeBron. That's what literally showed when he went out, was they don't know how to play without LeBron. I mean, they had a game. Montrezl Harrell was a DNP. I mean, they're deep enough to where he didn't even have to play a game, and they still, without LeBron, they still lost. Drummond isn't, what they thought he was going to be. I mean, he he is, but we'll see what he does in the playoffs.
This is a series I think he can play in because Ayton's going to be out there.
Yeah.
So this is a series where you can have AD at the 4, which is where he's comfortable. And then late in the game, just like we saw in Golden State, you put him at the 5, the Lakers go small, and then it's a real problem for people. So we'll see if Drummond, this is a team that he can play against. So
AD's deep shot has not been as nice this year as it has been. And but these guys, when they get in the playoffs, they just get a certain mindset, and great players do. So I don't expect him to be out there throwing a bunch of bricks I expect AD to step up a little bit. The key with the Lakers is that they came into the playoffs a little banged up, and they had to play in that play-in tournament game. LeBron was supposed to have limited minutes and ended up having to play most of the game against the Warriors. So, and then they're get one night off and they're back to doing this thing. So, I think the Lakers. The reason I agree with you with Game One is that they weren't healthy 100% going into the play-in tournament, and they've already had to play a playoff type game, and now they're going straight back to have to play these Suns who aren't going to give them a night off. They're going to really give them what they got. So, yeah, I agree. The Lakers are definitely taking this series, but I think, like you, it's going to be about 6 games. I think Phoenix can get 2 of them.